Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 8. It's titled Deny, Deny, Deny. One person said that in this whole episode, so I don't understand why they use that as a title. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, but let's get started. The first couple we're going to talk about is Chaz and Branwen. So they're in bed cuddling, and Mike comes home, and Branwen introduces Mike to Chaz. They sit down in the living room, and Mike gives Branwen his rules. He told her he wants her to be clean and sober, and he doesn't want anybody staying over. Chaz is a little disappointed, but he thanks Mike for allowing Branwen to stay there. So Chaz leaves, and Branwen is happy. She's happy that he leaves because she says she needs time to herself. Just married the man, and she's happy that he's gone because she needs time to herself. Meanwhile, Chaz goes back to his hotel room all alone because he's sad because he didn't get a chance to consummate his marriage. So in his room, he had decorated. He had put petals all over the bed. He had a shared bra and panty for Bronwyn to put on, and he's disappointed. But I don't think she'll ever give him any. She'll come up with every excuse in the book not to give him any. That's what I think is going to happen. So the next scene, Chaz is talking on the phone to his sister, and he's telling her about the wedding, and he's telling her who Bronwyn is staying with. And the next scene, we see Bronwyn on the phone with her ex-boyfriend, Aaron. And I believe she called him because we could hear his phone ringing. So she called her ex-boyfriend, Aaron. And she's talking to him about him showing up at her release. In her confessional, she said her and Aaron dated for a few years. She said they had really good sex, but they fought all the time, and Aaron cheated on her. So Branwen is talking to Aaron, and she is telling him about Chaz and how they met and how wonderful Chaz is and that she loves Chaz. And she also told Aaron that her and Chaz got married. In her confessional, Branwen says that she thinks that Aaron wants her back, and she says she still loves Aaron. Next, we have Indy and Harry. So we see Harry coming into the house. His sister Lydia is making coffee. And Harry said he has not seen Indy since their fight a week ago. He said he has been staying at Carla's house. I think Carla is his other sister. He said he needed that break from Indy. And he told his sister that he is tired of dealing with emotional people. Next, we see Indy video chatting with her spiritual advisor, Anaris, I think is how she pronounces it. Indy telling Anaris that her relationship is a shit show and she needs guidance. So Anaris basically tells her to take charge of the relationship. And what that means, I don't know. I have no clue what she means by that. What I think Indy needs to do is to take her butt back to Baltimore. Dump Harry, take her butt back to Baltimore. But in real time, I know that they have split up and her daughter went back to Maryland. They both said it on YouTube. They both broke their NDA, the non-closure agreement. And they said this on YouTube. He said that he was no longer with Indy on YouTube, and she said that she's back in Maryland with her daughters. So they both broke their NDAs. So next we see Harry in the kitchen with his sister Lydia, and he is talking shit about Indy. He is saying that she is 30 years old with 2 kids and he's only 24, and she's trying to come into his life. I guess he's trying to say that she's older and she's trying to chase after him. Then his phone rings and it's his parole officer. The parole officer said that he spoke with Lydia, and Lydia told him that Harry has not been to the house in a week. And the PO told Harry to give him an address to where he can reach him, to where he can find him, or else he's going to put a warrant out for Harry's arrest. The next scene, Harry and Indy goes to the basement of Lydia's house to have a conversation, and Harry can't believe that his sister told his PO that he hadn't been to the house in a week. Indy asked Harry who he was staying with, and he gave her, I don't think he gave her an answer, or maybe he did and the producers cut it out, but I didn't hear him answer her. Then she asked him if he was seeing someone else, and I think he said, I don't want to talk about it. He mumbles when he talks. I can barely hear what he's saying when he talks. He does not talk clearly. So I think he said he didn't want to talk about it. Then Indy asked him if he was in a relationship with someone, and he said he's not worried about it. I don't know what he's talking about. Harry is dumb, but he thinks everybody else is dumber. I don't know what his problem is. Anyway, he tells Indy that he wants to be in control of his freedom. That means he thinks she's stealing his freedom away from him. She told him that he made promises to her while he was in prison, and that she told him that she stuck by him the entire time that he was in prison. And if he wasn't ready for a relationship, then he should have told her that. That's what she tells him. So they're arguing back and forth. And in her confessional, Indy says Harry is a narcissist and he is a liar. Thank you, Indy, for realizing that now. After you done drag your child from one state all across the states to be with him, to be with Harry. That's the end of their segment. Next, it's Rick and Radine. We see Rick in his friend's backyard. He is setting up a little romantic scene. He has finger food, he has drinks, he has an ice bucket, and he's putting rose petals around a hot tub. Radine shows up, and she likes it. You know, she thinks it's very nice, very romantic. And he has bathing suits for her to choose from, and she tries one on, and they both get into the hot tub with drinks. And then Rick eats one of the rose petals, and then tries to kiss Radine, and she's like, oh, no, don't do that. And he tells her that the rose petals are edible. And then Rick starts doing his thing. He is feeding her food. He's kissing her. He's rubbing her feet. He's kissing her toes. But Radine said in her confessional that the whole time she was in the hot tub with Rick, she was thinking about Kay. But Rick is coming on strong. He's talking about his pretty penis. And then he takes off his swim trunks. And then Radine told him to put that thing back on. She said, put those back on. That's what she tells him to do. In her confessional, she said he has an unfit old man's body. Wow. The next scene, Rick is home with his roommate Ramona. And Rick tells Ramona about his date in the hot tub with Radine, and Rick thought the date was wonderful. So Ramona wants to know why Radine is not spending more time with Rick. And Ramona, she does not trust Radine. She thinks Radine is hiding something. In the meantime, Radine, she's missing Kay. She wants to hear Kay's voice and see Kay's face. But she tells us that Kay has been transferred from the county prison to the state penitentiary. And in order for Kay to call her, she has to go through some procedure. So Radine is at a cafe getting coffee, and she calls the state jail and said her wife, she said, my wife is in your facility and I haven't heard from her. And so the person who answered the phone told her to call back Monday through Friday. Then the producer said to Radine, did you just say wife? And Radine said yes. And the producer asked her if she is married to Kay. And she said yes. The producer asked her if she plans on telling Rick. And she said, I don't want to. I want to know how two inmates can marry each other. How did they get married? Excuse me. I keep burping. Just had Chinese food. Is it Kevin's girlfriend? Is her name Rachel? I can't remember what her name is. Tiffany. Tiffany got in trouble for messing around with her girlfriend in jail, but then Radine and Kay were able to get married in jail. I need to know more. I need to know. I hope they she clarifies it next week, next episode, because I want to know how two inmates can marry each other. You know. The next scene, the next couple is Kayla and Martel. I'm sorry, but I do not like Kayla. I don't like that girl. Whew. Okay, so we see Kayla. She's checking the apartment, making sure everything is clean. Then we see her. She's on her way to pick up Martel from the halfway house. And she's late. She's late because she claims she overslept. But every cell phone has an alarm. Why didn't she set an alarm to wake herself up? Anyway, she hopes he's not upset. But if I was him, I would be pissed. And this is what she did last time. She was late picking him up last time. She has an issue with being late, and she has an issue with cleaning. So when she gets there, Martel is upset. When she finally gets there, he's been standing out in the cold for about an hour waiting on her to pick him up. He's angry, but he's not belligerent, you know. Then she allows him to drive. Why are these inmates getting fresh out of prison driving? Does he have a driver's license? Anywho, she allows him to drive. And in his confessional, Martel says it's disrespectful to be late. And he's right. I mean, I'm not saying I'm always on time, but she's always late, it seems. Anyway, Kayla is saying that she wants to go eat. Martel is saying he wants to go to the strip club and get a bottle. But then his friend E-Dub calls, and Martel tells him that he will be there at 11:30. And Martel tells Kayla that he's going to the barbershop really quickly. So I'm going to go to the barbershop quickly. And she tells him that she wants to go eat. So they start to argue. Again, whenever he gets out of the halfway out house, she starts arguing with him. He does not want to go eat. He wants to go to the barbershop. Why argue with the man? He just got out of the halfway house. But she's arguing with him because she wants to go eat. She's spoiled. She always wants to do what she wants to do. She don't give a fig what he wants to do. Anyway, what she should have done was said, okay, I'm going to drop you off at the barbershop and I'm going to go get us something to eat. What do you want? Or something like that. Compromise. But no, she chooses to argue with the man. So Martel pulls up at the barbershop, gets out of the car, and tells her to stay in the car. That means it's not going to be long, right? If he's telling her to stay in the car. So she gets upset. She says she's tired of being disrespected. And the next time we see her, she's in the driver's seat, and then she drives off. And that's the end of their segment. She always want to argue with the man, and he just got out of prison or the halfway house. Why can't she compromise? She could have went to pick up food while he goes to the barbershop. Apparently, he wasn't going to be there long. He told her not to get out of the car. She's something else. I don't like her. Next couple is Taylor and Chance. Chance meet up with a friend, Daryl, at a jewelry store. He wants to buy an engagement ring for Taylor because he feels guilty for messing up her relationship with her twin sister, Bobby. I don't think that's a reason to buy an engagement ring, because you feel guilty. Anyway, Chance tells the sales lady his price range. His price range is $550. And then he tells her he just got out of prison. Why did he feel the need to tell her that? And then the sales lady asks him how long he's been in prison. Why did she feel the need to ask him that? I tell you, boy. In his confessional, Chance said that he started his job, which is good. So he got a little bit of money now. The sales lady showed him a ring set for $509. But he also wants to buy rings, promise rings for Taylor's daughters. And I think that's a bad idea. Kids lose things. He's going to buy them these rings and they're going to lose it. They're kids. So his friend Daryl told the camera that Chance has trust issues when it comes to relationships. He always want to know where the girl is and what she's doing, why she's doing it, when she's coming home. He has trust issues. So the next scene, we see Taylor, she's complaining about a sharp pain in her side. So Chance rushes her to the emergency room. And we see Taylor being checked out by the hospital personnel. And then Chance tells the camera that Bobby is babysitting for them. He also said that they ran a pregnancy test on Taylor and they're waiting for the results. Chance says if Taylor is not pregnant, then it could be her gallbladder, an issue with her gallbladder or with her appendix. So 30 minutes later, Chance comes out of the hospital and he tells the camera, I guess the camera people can't go into the hospital. He tells the camera that Taylor is not pregnant with tears in his eyes. Is he faking? I think he is. Faking those tears. So they did a CAT scan on Taylor, and later Chance tells the camera that Taylor has inflammation around her pelvis and Taylor is going to be transported to another hospital. Then come to find out that the pain that she was having was from some rough sex, and they sent her home. End of crisis. Crisis over with. Can you have a sharp pain in your side from rough sex? I don't know. I've never experienced that. I hope to never experience that. So I don't know. That's the end of their segment. Next is, this is the last couple. Lacey, I'm about to say Lucy. Lacey and Antoine. Lacey drives to a beautiful lookout spot to look at the sunset. But Antoine is not impressed and he wants to go home. He's like, sound like a little kid. I want to go home. But she makes him get out of the car to look at the view. And he's just not in the mood to look at the scenery. And he said he's cold. So she gets angry and she tells him to just get in the car. Just go ahead and get in the car. So on the way home, they are bickering with each other. So they get back to the house and she wants him to apologize. And why? I have no clue why she wants him to apologize. For what? For not wanting to stay out there in the cold and look at the scenery? Is that why she wants him to apologize? Because he didn't do anything, but she wants him to apologize. And he told her absolutely not. He's not apologizing. So they're arguing, and then he goes into another room, into a little box, his little box of goodies, and he pulls out this letter, and he brings it to her, and he shows the letter to her, and he says that he knows that she wrote the letter. And that's the letter she wrote the first episode, talking about, hi, I'm so-and-so, and she, she's flirting with him really heavy, pretending to be someone else. And he's told her that he knows she wrote the letter because it's the handwriting is the same handwriting as the letter. She's a dummy. She should have gotten her friend to write the letter. So Lacey defends herself by saying, the only reason you didn't respond to the letter is because you knew it was me. So if she doesn't trust him, why is she with him? So they're still arguing. They're arguing back and forth. And then she gives him a pillow because apparently he's sleeping on the couch. So she gives him a pillow and she goes into the bedroom and she closes the door. In his confessional, the producer asks Antoine if he would have been honest with Lacey if he had cheated on her. And he said no, he would never tell Lacey if he cheated. Even if he got caught, he would deny it. Antoine said rule number 1, deny, deny, deny. And that's where they get the title from. Ridiculous. Anywho, the next morning, Antoine, the title should have been, I just thought about it, Fights and Arguments. Something like that. Because everybody's arguing, everybody's fighting with each other, right? So the next morning, Antoine knocks on Lacey's bedroom door and asks for entrance. So she told him to come on in. And basically they talked about it. They didn't really agree, but they talked about the fights, the arguments, and they squashed it. So he asked her, what is she doing today? She says she wants to run errands. She wants him to come with her to run errands and then meet her sister. He don't want to do that. Antoine wants to go meet up with a friend instead. He doesn't want to go run no errands and meet her sister. So then he asked her, will you drive me to go meet my friend? And she said, is that why you came in here and made up with me? So that I can drive you around? And he was like, no. So she decides she's going to drive him. But then he asks her for a kiss and she tells him, no, baby steps. We're not over this argument yet. I'm still mad. So we're doing baby steps right now. So she refused to give him a kiss. And these two are ridiculous, and I'm tired of them. But that was the end of their segment, and this is the end of my review. I'll be back next week with another review. Thank you for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.